Hi everyone, and welcome to our next masterclass in this manifestation masterclass series. If you're only starting this journey now, go back to my very first session because every session kind of follows, on the next. And also make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you get notified every single time that I do post a video. Today I'm talking about following your passion. Now, I get this question a lot, but how do I find my passion? And I'm going to share with you a bit of my own experience, but also some, from my experience with working with my clients, my understanding of finding your purpose. Now, firstly, your purpose is not something that you need to go and find. It is something that you've always been. You just didn't see it yet. If I use myself as an example, for when I was younger, I remember when I was studying for any exam, when I was in school, I used to put all my dolls and teddies on my bed and I would walk up and down my room and I would teach to them whatever I was busy learning, not knowing that there's something within me that loves teaching. It was just something that I found easy. It's something that I enjoyed. It was a way for me to make my learning a bit more fun and interesting for myself. So that was one clue. The next thing I did was a bit later, in my childhood, I used to pretend owning my own business. And I would always imagine, I have all these files and books and papers and always imagining that I have my own business, not knowing that deep down I'm an entrepreneur at heart. You would think that I would know this. And then I went through life, and there was one thing that I knew for a fact. I knew that I wanted to help people. But then you do these assessments, and from those personality assessments, it gave me what I knew. It said I want to help people, but there's many ways in which you can help people, being a teacher, being a social worker, psychologist, nurse, etc. And back then, not one of those intrigued me. And so I went through life and I went from career to career. And at some point, I was really struggling to find out what is my purpose. And the person that I was back then and still am, I would love, to talk to people about, what really makes them tick. And I always kind of have these kind of conversations, what you really truly enjoy to do. And I would always inspire people to go and follow their heart, do what they really want to do. And then they would end up resigning, following, their passion. And I was still stuck in the same career. And it took me years and years to figure this out, although it was right in front of my face. It's something that I've been. And the one day I asked myself, what is the one thing that I do effortlessly and it comes naturally to me? And that's when I then realized that I was busy coaching others to follow their purpose and their passion, but I didn't follow my own advice. And then only, and through many other self-discovery, methods, I realized what my passion is. But it was always right in front of my face. I have a passion for teaching. I have a passion for helping others, and it's always been part of my life. So, firstly, if you, like me back in the day, is struggling to find your purpose, it is not something that you have to go and unearth, that you have to learn. It's something that you've been doing your entire life. So go back, think back to the things that really made you tick, as you were growing up, things that you lost time in, what are the type of content and material that you love to consume. All of those gives you a clue of what your purpose is in life. It doesn't have to be a grand, event. It's something that brings you the most joy in your life. Now, there's a barrier to what keeps us from totally following our passion. And we spoke about this before. It is our beliefs. It's the belief that it can't be this because I won't be able to make money from this, or I can never do this, as a career. It is a belief. That belief, disables you to truly follow your purpose and your passion. Now, I purposefully called this session Following Your Passion. There are things that you're passionate about, and then we ignore them because we don't have time, or we don't think that we can make a living through that. But I want to urge you today, if you want to truly manifest the life that you want to live, you have to face those things that really brings joy to your life. And even though you're not necessarily doing it as a full-time career, maybe not earning money, in terms of that, and it doesn't even have to be that you have to make money or build a career from what your passion is. It's not necessary. If you enjoy your current career, you love what you do, but you have other passions as well, there's a reason why you have that passion. There's a reason. There's no rule book that says you can only focus and do only one thing. I had a conversation the other day with a coach that he's a life coach on the one end, but he's also a vet on the other end, which is two sides of a coin, working with animals, working with people, and he does both. You don't have to only choose one path for your life. We tend to take things too serious and be too rigid, in our lives. Have an open mind. Now, a clue to following your passion is asking yourself today, what is the one thing that I can do today or maybe tomorrow morning that will bring me the most joy? Now, joy might not be, like being ecstatic and excited about something. It will be amazing if that is the case, but it doesn't have to be that. What will bring you contentment, peace of mind, something that you take action on? There's a reason why you have passion within you for something specific. What if that was your soul's way to communicate with you, to say to you, this is the direction that you need to follow? But now, because your belief system tells you that I can't do this, I don't have time, or I won't be able to make a living from this. So I can't do this. I have to suffer, on this end. And then you keep on suffering, and that brings other, challenges, and also often sometimes health challenges with that as well. So even though you don't have to necessarily resign tomorrow and follow your purpose and your passion, but do something to take you step by step into that direction. So ask yourself, what is the thing that will bring me the most joy in my life right now that I can take a small action on? And then take that one action. That one action will lead you to the next, and that will bring you to the next. It will keep on guiding you to where you're supposed to go. Now, the next thing is then to let go of any expectations of what it should look like in the end. You only need to follow what your inner guidance is telling you. The fact that you feel miserable in a specific situation is already your clue that this might not be the best option for you to take now in your life. What other options are there? And start taking small steps towards that. Even though I am living the life of my dreams, what I've manifested, what I always wanted, I'm living that life. But now I have a next step. I have a much, much bigger goal that is way bigger than myself. I don't even know how I'm going to get there. And I've had that specific vision for the past 8 years. And I've decided to take small action, and see where this inspiration leads. And because I've chosen to take small steps, because this idea truly excites me, even though I have no idea how I'm going to get to the end and how it's going to turn out, I'm letting go of that expectation of how I'm going to do that and how it's going to actually materialize. I'm going to let my inner guidance guide me, And I know for a fact on this journey, I will meet the right people, the right circumstances, the right ideas, and inspiration will come to me. And it's amazing. The moment that I made that decision, there was already inspiration coming to my mind. And it's amazing because I had this thought, of something, that gave me an idea of what I would like to call this new business. And right after that inspiration and idea I got, I listened to a YouTube podcast. And what happened? They spoke exactly about that theme that came to my mind like half an hour ago. So that was my sign that, okay, this is the name I'm going to go with. So there I get even more excited. And that's how I'm going to follow, that feeling. So I want you to take note of your inner feelings because your emotions is your guidance. We try to figure out everything with our mind, with our limiting, thoughts. That is the conscious mind that has about 5% control over, your reactions, your decisions, your behavior, where the rest is part of, who you are, the programming, the subconscious mind. Follow the feeling. The feeling will guide you. So this is my message in this session today. We've looked at how this mind works. We looked at, what is the vision that you have for your life, being specific, having goals. We looked at, the beliefs and limiting beliefs and how that can sabotage us. And I'm going to share more and more of tools that you can use. But today, my instruction for you is for the next week to notice your feeling. Remember, you and your life is your biggest experiment. Don't question and see, is this going to work? Is that going to work? Just, use yourself as an experiment. So for the next week, follow your highest excitement. What is the one thing that you today feel passionate about? Maybe that one thing might be reading your book. It might be, listening to an audiobook. It could be anything that you feel drawn to in that moment, day by day, the thing that will bring you the most joy. Because as you do that, you also start reconditioning the mind to more and more follow your purpose, follow your joy. All right, so thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Bye.